Hey, if you're a foreigner that is actively seeking work in the Philippines, I think this is some information that may be beneficial to you. So make sure you stay locked in. Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, back again, once again. You already know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Instant classic in the making. First time to the channel, guys, make sure you subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the Good Doc's content. Everything you should need to know about me shall be listed in the links in the description area below. As you guys know, I spent a fair amount of time in the Philippines, guys, and as one of the restrictions of my visa, a Section 9F student visa, I was unable to hold employment while going to school at the exact same time. That did not necessarily stop me from trying, but again, unfortunately, I was not able to hold actual occupation in the country. So in this video, guys, I'm going to share with you a couple of jobs that I actually applied for to look for physical work in the Philippines. And also I want to share with you guys some information that I think will be more than beneficial for anybody that's actually actively seeking employment in the Philippines. But first things first, from personal experiences and personal things, above all, if there's one thing that I recommend you guys do if you're looking for some type of work while living in the Philippines, I ask you guys to look for something in the digital space, something online, something where you can work from home, something where you can work online and get paid in your country's currency. All right, I think it'll be more beneficial from the financial aspect of it all. So that's something I would definitely recommend you look into before actively trying to seek employment in the Philippines. All right, and I'm going to share with you a couple of reasons why. So right here, I got some information that I want to read to you guys that I think is something that you guys need to know in reference to some of the requirements that you guys are going to need in order to actively be able to seek employment in the Philippines. And there's going to be some tidbits of information that I think will somewhat give you an insight on how probable it'll be for you to get a job as well. All right, so again, I got my phone right here. I want to share something with you guys, and what I'm about to say reads verbatim. And this is in basic reference to the question of how foreigners can work in the Philippines. All right, so if you are a foreigner and you want to work in the Philippines, then you will need to get an alien employment permit from the Department of Labor and Employment. They determine if you can work because there is no Filipino citizen who is competent, willing, or able during that time to fulfill that particular position. And of course, that AEP, the Alien Employment Permit, is only good for 1 year. So the only way that you'll be able to apply for a job is if there is no able-bodied Filipino citizen to be able to work that job. That kind of negates a lot when we think about it out loud, because you're basically saying that there's no available Filipino to fulfill that position that you're looking to be employed at, whether that be a call center job or anything of the like. So that's why they're going to hire you, the foreigner, especially when it comes to doing things the legal way, all right, and getting the alien employment permit. Okay, there's also one thing I want to add to it. It says foreign nationals planning to work in the Philippines are required to secure a work visa. As many of you guys know, you got to get a work visa, which can be obtained from the Philippines Bureau of Immigration, MBI, as well as the alien employment permit, as I mentioned earlier, issued by the Department of Labor and Employment. Okay, so in order for you to actually be able to physically work, those are the requirements that you will need to seek in order to get employment. Of course, those prices do vary. All right, so you can't expect that you're going to pay the same, fees to get a permit in a certain area like Manila, where it's a very bustling, fast-moving type of city. In reference to a place like Davao, things like that, you can expect that not the fines, but the fees to get these permits are actually likely going to be a little bit different. They're going to vary in different areas, okay? So as for myself, being a foreigner in the Philippines, guys, I want to give you guys a list of potential jobs that I think you guys should apply for. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you the specific jobs that I actually applied for or actually inquired about while living in the Philippines in order for me to continue my tenure in the Philippines before I actually left. Now, again, guys, hindsight is 2020, and everything that I say, looking back then when I really wasn't trying to leave the country at the time, in my current space, I do realize that everything happens for a reason, and where I currently am right now in a financial state, and being able to understand and exercise some thoughts on things that I've been able to learn since I've been out of the country, it's definitely propelled me to a level that is actually, way better than I probably could have ever imagined. And, we're only going up, ladies and gentlemen. So that's just the blessings that God has put upon me. And also, me being one of those types of guys, I used to think about what my life would have been like if I started my Philippine vlog channel back in 2020. All right, not 2020, but about 2010, just when YouTube was starting to really bustle. Like back when, I could have really made a name for myself in it, and probably if that was the case, I probably would have been able to create a career around a YouTube channel or something like that. Again, hindsight being 2020, who knows? All we could do is focus on where we are right now. All right, so some of the jobs that I actually applied for and actually inquired about while living in the Philippines, I wanted to be a English language, not interpreter, but like a manager at Teleperformance call center agency. So basically what this person does, or what this particular job is, that's not the job title, guys, but that's just the best way for me to describe it. But basically all I would do is train employees on calling, like, running through the script, speaking the English part of it and drilling them on the script, because that's pretty much what training for call centers is all about. Memorizing scripts, trying to get employees to buy things, and learning how to deal with certain types of, not rejections, but dealing with the negative aspect of employees, and how to respond to negative comments and things like that. So that would have been my job, just basically training employees on the English aspect and making sure afflictions and pronunciations and things would have been on point. That would have been a particular job that I was actually very, very interested in. And at the time, I did know somebody that could have got me in, but one thing led to another, things fell through, and of course I was not able to get that job. The second job that I actually applied for is it was an English teacher position. One that was definitely for a company that was based in the Philippines. This wasn't some online, something that may have been based in China or like Taiwan or in like Japan. This was a physical company. I would report to this work. I would sit my ass in a cubicle, and I would have these 30 to an hour long not consultations, but lesson plans with my students and things like that, ranging anywhere between like 8 to adult age and everything like that. And I made it through the process. I did absolutely everything, signed everything. But when it came down to the point of whether I could actually physically work, and the fact that I actually had to go get that permit, and the fact that I was still under my Section 9F visa, that particular job fell through. Tried to find a way to weasel around it, but unfortunately, that was where everything stopped for myself. Many of you guys may know this, some of you guys may not, but I did have my own business in the Philippines as well. I sold cosmetics. I had my own authorized business center, wherein I was able to sell cosmetics, more specifically Ever Balena Cosmetics. I had a store right in the heart of the city. Everything was Gucci, money was good. Damn, money was good. Got to the point though when I was really focusing on my dissertation, I had to make a really, really big decision on whether I wanted to focus on the business aspect of it or getting my doctorate degree, because I was going to be around having to do my surveys and stuff like that. So I kind of just weighed the pros and cons of each and realized that I could not put my energy in both of those. So I opted to go ahead and sell the business off. All right. But if you guys are looking for particular jobs, all right, in the Philippines, I encourage you guys to definitely do some Google searches, because I've done Google. I've done some Google searches recently that have shown me quite a few jobs that are available, but these jobs are available through American or foreign companies that are placed in the Philippines, like somebody who is a business process outsourcing company, wherein you need a overseer to oversee the process and the transition. So you being the foreigner, you could be ahead of the transition office of a BPO, depending on what your skills and qualifications are. I'm not going to say that you could just raise your hand and volunteer as tribute and get the job. It's not going to work that way, but these are just jobs that I think that if you're really looking to get into it, link yourself to a company, an American company or a foreign company that is trying to place themselves in the Philippines, and try to get ahead of the curve, guys. Wherever you think your skills will be masterful and whether you feel like your skills will be the most utilized in that company, try to apply for jobs that fit those particular bills. Also, a job opportunity that I think a lot of foreigners should take into consideration: a job working for the U.S. Embassy. The U.S. Embassy is about a 10-minute walk from where my condo was, or my dad's condo, let's be honest, where my people's condo was. All right, so I could literally walk to work every day if I wanted to, working at the embassy. I thought about that job. I wanted that job. I prayed for that job. The money for that job was not great at all. When you look at it and you weigh the pros and cons, the money for the job was not great. But again, getting a job like that would not necessarily be for the financials. It would be for just getting in the country and being able to stay in the country and probably getting some benefits. And who knows what your upward trajectory would be, whether you start at the bottom and things like that. Who knows what your how well you can ascend within, working in the embassy and stuff like that. Because once you're in there, man, they kind of just switch people around, man. It's not so much hiring outsiders all the time, guys. They really want to try to hire within. So getting in, if you were able to, and it's a godsend, hey man, some things could definitely work in your benefit if you're looking to get a job at the U.S. Embassy. Another job opportunity that I think you might consider. But like I said, guys, I think it's better to look for jobs that are posted here in the United States. Go online, man. Just look for jobs for foreigners or U.S. jobs in the Philippines, something like that. That Google search will tell you damn near everything you need to know. And sometimes they'll even tell you how much you're going to get paid to do it. Like I said, I found a lot of job postings at the U.S. Embassy, but whether you qualify or not, that is completely up to your particular skill sets and qualifications, okay? So you can't always bank that you're going to be able to get the job. But what I can say is this. This is one thing that I tell a lot of people, but they don't listen to me at all. You should know this without me saying it, but guys, there has been no better opportunity to get work than right now. People retiring, people getting out of jobs, people in fear of everything that's going on right now. People are just not trying to work. They trying to stay at home. So imagine if you are like one of the only people in the background raising your hand for a job, man, the chances of you getting that job just got higher because there's less competition. Now, all I'm saying is you just have to have base knowledge, and sometimes you don't even have to have base knowledge of the job you're doing. You can tell them you know it, because all they're going to do is teach you how to do it their way anyway. So if somebody says, hey, how do you feel about, encryptions, and how do you feel about, doing this? What do you feel about processes and distribution and, supply chain management and all of that stuff? Oh yeah, I feel comfortable in it. I've done it at my last job, whatever. Because all they're going to do is show you exactly how they want it done for their particular company. So I'm not telling you to lie, but you could probably scratch the truth just a little bit. Because like I said, people aren't trying to work and people ain't trying to look for jobs. So there's no better opportunity than right now, when people aren't looking for jobs, to actually start looking for jobs than anything in this world. Now, again, I know the majority of the people who are on my channel, you guys are already well employed. You're either veterans looking to retire and ain't even worried about work anymore, or you just want to lend an open ear to the idea of, maybe you're a younger foreigner such as myself and you're looking to escape the matrix, and you kind of feel like just having a mediocre job, just something to keep you busy, is just enough to satisfy you. It ain't got nothing to do with the salary. Financials is good. You just want to make sure that you have a little bit of consistent money coming in. So you're looking for a job. Again, got to make sure you get your alien employment permit, your AEP. You got to make sure that you get clearance from the Philippine Bureau of Immigration. I think they call it the NBI, National Bureau of Immigration. And like I said, the fees may vary and things like that. But I think that if you really are actively trying to seek a job, I think you might be able to find one in these times. Not saying that it's going to be 100%, but you just might be able to find a job in these times for you. So it's always good to keep your eyes open and keep your ear to the ground and see what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to provide you the information so that you guys can make the right decisions for yourself. Again, it ain't going to hurt you to look. That's what I tell everybody. It ain't never hurt nobody to look. If you just want to cast your line out there to see where it bites, okay. You just want to get out there, get your binoculars and see what's popping, that's what's up. Just do what works best for you in the moment. Because a lot of y'all have been asking me about, Doc, what kind of jobs can foreigners have in the Philippines? Laid it out for you right there. And I damn sure try to tell you where you guys should start seeking work. Go online, Google search. Right there, baby. foreign jobs for foreigners in the Philippines. That's a very, very generic way of trying to figure out what's open, but I promise you some jobs will pop up. And again, depending on what types of companies you can feel that you can connect with or work with, and a lot of people aren't trying to get assigned to the Philippines, that also works in your favor as well. Some people ain't volunteering to want to leave the United States or not trying to volunteer to get out of the country. So if you're the one that's raising your hand in the background, you're one of one, guess what, chances are closed mouths don't get fed, hit dogs may holler. But if you're the one actively trying to seek that job and you really show them that you about that action, who knows, you just might score a nice paying job working in the country that you always wanted to be in as well. Again, that's always been a roundabout way to look at it. Hey, Doc's just opening the mind and just giving the ideas and showing you the potentials, man. And I hope that you pick up what the good Doc is putting down. And if you do, y'all make sure y'all get the like, subscribe, and do all the best that you can for the good Doc. Everything you need to know about me listed in the link in the description area below. My videos, my Patreons, all the good shit, man. Why did I say my videos? I mean my ebooks, my Patreon, man. Everything you need, description area below if you want to check out the content that I do not post on the tube. All right, ladies and gentlemen, has been fun, it has been real, but the good Doc has got to get to getting. So with that being said, good Doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. I sincerely do. Mahal kita, mabuhay. Peace.